A part of being fat is knowing that to so many people, the most exciting, celebratory, incredible thing you could ever do is get thin. Getting smaller is the accomplishment above all accomplishments. Above getting a master's degree, above getting a bachelor's degree, above landing a great job in your career, above being in a healthy relationship, above getting married, above getting engaged, above. It would be almost funny if it wasn't so deeply infuriating and dehumanizing, because we are not seen as human before we are seen as fat. Fatness is seen as an other. It's seen as its own identity, separate from humanity, because it's seen as like a moral thing. It's seen as morally bad. And it sucks so much. And fat people deserve to be celebrated so much more for everything in their lives, because we just aren't. We aren't. And we know there's one secret recipe for everyone to be rooting for us, and one secret recipe for everyone to be against us, which is being fat positive or staying fat. Even though there are so many health risks with weight loss, even though for the vast majority of people, they will gain back more weight than where they started.
Health risks with weight loss but not with fatness? Got it.
That's an overgeneralization.
I lost 50 pounds and it is like I am a different person entirely. It makes me so anxious even though people treat me better and like me more.
Your body and your physical fitness says something about you automatically.
And on today's episode of Fat People Be Blamed for Anything and Everything, we have this comment courtesy of Emily. Emily writes, "You are privileged to be able to get to that size. Think of all those extra calories that children in Gaza could have had instead." I've tried to record what I'd love to say about this multiple times, but I just don't think I could do it justice. And so I'm hoping that I don't need to explain how horrendous of a comment that is to read. That comment was left on a video of me talking about body positivity and about how I've learned to love myself despite society telling me that I am wrong and I should be changing myself and I should starve myself in order to fit a societal standard. And that person has decided to blame me or insinuate that I am contributing to a genocide is one of the most heinous things I've ever read.
Okay, but you are not addressing the part that you are privileged having access to all those calories.
You know, fat people, the reason why body positivity, fat liberation, fat acceptance exists is because of that rhetoric. The irony that that was left on the body positivity video is not lost on me, but it will be lost on Emily, because clearly she is dumb as a bag of rocks. That's why we fight just for basic respect. And to insinuate that we are just evil by existing, well, obviously means that you don't respect us. And if you don't respect us, it means that you don't think that we deserve certain rights and certain privileges that other people are allowed, like access to medical care, even access to food, you know?
How don't you have access to food? And the point is not respect, but you complaining about thin privilege when you are privileged in other ways.
Access to food, you know? You don't think we deserve it. I am secure in the knowledge knowing that what Emily has written is obviously so far from the truth. But I am saddened to see and read that people like her exist and believe that. And I really hope that they will change their opinion. But at the same time, when you're that far gone into the rabbit hole that is hating other people just for existing, I don't think there's much hope for Emily. Anyway, you're allowed to exist. You're allowed to exist, and you're allowed to enjoy existing.
Not hating, but why aren't other people allowed to have opinions? Why are you always right and always the victim? And life is not all about eating.
I mean, Emily obviously does have a point though. Of course you aren't responsible for the children in Gaza starving, and you can't be made responsible for it either. But being heavier than the average person means you also require more resources. Your clothes are bigger and require more water to wash. You are heavier and require more fuel, electricity to be transported by plane, car, train. You require more food to sustain your size. You require more space in public places like the train or plane once again, making the use of space less efficient. There are a lot more examples like this. Yes, you are allowed to exist, but you also need to be aware of the fact that your personal choices do impact other people's lives, and whether it's ethical in today's time to take up more resources for yourself than the average person does. Especially from the standpoint of sustainability, I'll leave up to you to decide.
I don't want to be strong like men who look pretty. I want to be strong like bitch that fight bears in the forest.
If you are fat or have ever been fat, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but you will never be anything other than fat. No matter how much I accomplish, no matter how much I do, no matter how good of a person I am, no matter the community I hold, no matter the kindness I extend to others, no matter my politics, no matter my religion, first and foremost, I'm fat. Which doesn't have to be a bad thing. Sure, fatness is part of me. It's part of how I move through the world. But it's part of me. It's not all of me. It is not the most important aspect of me. And for some reason, me being fat makes all of my accomplishments, everything I mentioned, not matter. Before I am a grad student, I am fat. Before I am nice, I am fat. Before I am funny, I am fat. Before I am smart, I am fat. Before I like animals, I am fat. Before I am vegan, I am fat. Before I speak, before I think, I am fat. Therefore, I am bad. And let me tell you, which I probably don't have to tell you, it is so draining. And it is so not fair.
OMG, this logic.
That's not true at all. You are choosing to view the world through that lens. You have based your entire identity on the size of your body.
It's because you complain about it constantly. Hope this helps.